Okay, this is part 3 in my series on data analysis with Excel, and in this video we're going to start digging in and get some key metrics like best and worst day. We're going to find conditional values by a couple of conditions, find some key value in a lookback period, and then count the data points that meet some criteria. Okay, so let's jump back into our data set and get started. Okay, so a couple of things before I get started here. I want this data to sort of be more readable, right? And so I'm going to transform it into a percent and give it a couple of decimals. All right, so these are all expressed as percentages, and yep, that just makes it easier for someone to consume them than with a decimal number with about 6 or 8 decimal places. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is add sort of a helper column here. So when I start adding different conditions, like what was the average Monday in 2024, I'm going to need a helper column to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and insert, and we'll put the year here. And then, yep, I'll use the year function to peel off that year. And then, as I mentioned in the first video, Excel stores all dates as integers, and so somehow, since I looked at a date and made a column based on it, it can't quite figure out that I just really want the year. And so, right, if it's 2024, I guess that equates to, right, the 2024th day being in 1905, right? And so I'm going to transform that into an integer, and right, we don't need the decimal places. Okay, so with all that done, we'll add a separate sheet to start doing our analytics on. So add the sheet, and I'll call it analytics. And then, right, I'll just put a big header up here, I guess, right, Nvidia analytics, and make it bigger, right, maybe highlight it a little bit. Okay, and then we have to sort of decide, well, what analytics do I want? So, you know, maybe I want something like, what's the worst day that happened? And then, oh, what's the best day that happened? All right, and so I probably want the values there and the actual date that it happened. All right, so let's see how to do something like that. Getting the worst day is pretty easy, right? Because I can just sort of go in, right, and I can say min, and start using that structured reference Nvidia table, right, and then get the minimum percent change. And we can see that, oh, it was off by 18.5%. Again, I'll just reformat that to be more human readable. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we can go and find the date where it went down 18.5%. I think probably the most traditional way would be to use index here, where we can look in an array and specify a column and row that we're interested in. And so the array we're going to look in is Nvidia, and then the row we're interested in, we're going to get the match for B2 here, and we're going to go and find that again in Nvidia, but just in the percent change column. So that's the row, and then I want an exact match of that, and then the column I want is going to be the first column. So the match tells us the row, and then I'm telling you what column I want from the Nvidia table, and then we can see that, oh, that 18.5% drop was on January 27th, 2025, and if we want to confirm that, okay, so there's January 27th, and then, yeah, you can see there it went down 18.5%. All right, and if there's another minus 18.5% exactly this value, it would just give us the first one, but I'm willing to bet that, oh, there wasn't another day that did exactly what it did on January 27th, particularly since, oh, it's not really 18.59%, it's more, right, because I have all these decimal places. So we can do something similar for the best day, and again, right, it's easy. I just get the max. I use my structured reference here. I get the return or the percent change, and it went up almost as much as the worst day, right? And then I'll just go ahead and format paint that, and then I'll show you a different way to get that date. And this one I'm going to use XLOOKUP, and okay, this one might be easier. I'm going to go ahead and look for this value, and I'm going to go try to find it in that Nvidia table. And then if I find it, I'm going to return what's in the date column. Okay, so this one might be a little easier to sort of wrap your head around in terms of the structure, right? So let me just put the two formulas up there for comparison. They both do the same thing, but it's sort of like, well, how do you think about it? All right, and yeah, if it couldn't find that value in the table, it would have returned an error for the date. All right, and then let me just kind of format those a little bit. Outputs, it sort of draws attention to them. All right, so I want to see how do we look back and find out, right? We could find out, well, what was the sort of the worst day in a 90-day period. All right, and so I guess I'll do it for the highest closing price. So we'll do a 90-day high, and then I'll just sort of format that as well. Okay, so this one's a little bit more complicated because I can't just look at a max. I want to look at a max that meets a specific criteria, and I can do that with this MAXIFS function. All right, and we can see from the arguments here, it wants a range to look at, it wants a criteria range to look at, and then some kind of criteria. There's an ellipsis here, all right, and that just indicates, well, we could have a whole bunch of criteria if we want, all right? So the range I want to look at is the closing price, right? So it's Nvidia, and then it's going to be close, and then the criteria I'm going to look at is, right, I want to look at the last 90 days, so I'm going to look at Nvidia, the date, and then the actual criteria is, any day before today, going back to that 3 months. So how I specify that is I say less than or equal to, and you have to put that in quotation marks, and the ampersand here, and then I'm going to use that eDate function. We're going to start with today, and we're going to go back 3 months, close that, and then close the entire expression. Yeah, once again, we got the date when we wanted the integer. Okay, and so, right, we could go back to the data and look at the, the previous 90 days to just confirm that, oh, this is the highest close of the last 90 days. So, I mean, you can just kind of imagine hunting for some of these things in your data set. How else would you do it? I guess I could sort of start with percent change and get a crude estimate if I select everything and, turned on conditional formatting with some color scales there, right? And, we'll start at, the better values being in green and the worst values being sort of towards red. And then, as I scroll through visually, I can find really extreme values in here somewhere. All right, so there's a very high, and then, eventually we're going to find a bright red that's a very low. All right, but that's not very efficient, right? It's much better to sort of just use a formula to do something like that. All right, so the same is true of any of these metrics or any data point we're looking for, interested in our data set. We want to be able to find that formulaically so we can do it quickly, all right? And then we could take a look at something like, oh, how does this break down by weekdays, right? And then, what's the best, what's the worst, what's the average, I guess. And then, right, I could sort of make a little table here. And then, okay, this one is pretty straightforward. I'm going to look at the best day, the best Monday, right? And so, again, I'm going to use that MAXIFS. And the range is in Nvidia. And then it's that percent change. And then the criteria range, Nvidia, weekday, and then we want it for a Monday. Okay, so the best Monday we had, obviously that is not the 17%, so it didn't occur on a Monday. Convert this, and I'll go ahead and fill in the rest of this table, and we'll be able to figure out where or what day of the week did that best day occur on. Okay, so there's a companion, MINIFS, right? Same formula, really. Okay, so it was a Monday where we had the worst day, and then, there's a couple of ways to do average if, actually. So there's average if, and the syntax is slightly different, right? So if I look at it, it's like, this is an older sort of legacy function, and I have to come up with a different way to do it. It's maybe a little less intuitive. So I think the preferred way to do this is with average ifs, and then the syntax is going to look exactly the same as it did for min and for max. Okay, so pretty close to 0 for Mondays, slightly negative, and then, once I have one filled in, I can just quickly copy those down. Yep, Wednesday was the best day. And then if we want to make this a little bit more visually appealing, I guess we can turn it into a table. Although I'm not going to do any of the table filtering or anything with this. I just want the formatting. So I'll select that, make it a table, and then I'll go ahead and turn off the filters here. I'm not going to add the total row. And then, right, I could, if I want to find a different sort of format for it, I could. I'll just sort of select that. And then call this overall performance. And then I want to show you one more thing before we go, or a couple more things. And then copy this and paste it down here. And I'm going to look at what happened in 2024. So we can see how to do this ifs part, right? Add a second criteria, which is the year, to get the best Monday in 2024 and the best Tuesday in 2024. All right. Let me show you one other quick thing here is what if we want to know trading days in 2024? Yeah, helpfully fill that down because they're table. And let me show you, since we're talking about that, let me show you one other thing. If I just want the table formatting, but none of the table functionality, I can select everything. And if I go to table design here, I can convert it to a range. So this is the way to turn off the table feature. So if we know how to turn it on, we should probably know how to turn it off as well. So this is how you do that. You might think it's in the same place, but it's not. It's in the table design tab, convert to a range, and then okay, I get to keep the formatting, but then, okay, it won't do anything with a structured reference or anything like that anymore. And then we'll take a look at, well, how do we get the number of trading days in 2024? All right, so one way we can do this is I could sort of ask Excel to go ahead and look at the Nvidia table and to look at the date there. And then if I want to know the year, then I have to, right, tell it to look at the year, see if it equals 2024. When I do this, it actually looks at the entire table and it sort of tells us where there are 2024s and where there are 2025s. Okay, so it actually ends up being a true and false. All right, and if I want to count these up, I guess I could sort of write a function that says, oh, count if, right? So there's a MAXIF, there's an AVERAGEIFS, there's a SUMIF, there's a COUNTIF. And so I could do that. I could say, oh, let's count it if this is true. All right, but we actually have another method of doing it, and that's what I wanted to show you, is I can convert these trues and falses into zeros and ones. And I can do that by putting two minus signs and wrapping this whole expression that evaluates to true or false in parentheses. So any expression that evaluates to true or false, I wrap it in parentheses, put two minus signs in front of it, and it becomes a 1 or a 0. All right, so this is kind of why I needed to add that helper column to the data set before we started, right, for the year, because otherwise it sort of does everything based on the entire array. And so I wouldn't be able to use a MAXIF with the year of the weekday or anything like that, right? But I can use it over here to sort of count up or add up the year of the date. Okay, and it's a percent because the stuff above it is a percent. So let's change it to an integer. And okay, there are 40 days in 2024. And then I'm just going to quickly add a criteria here that gets the best, worst, and average in 2024. So I just need to modify this a little bit, and I'll add a second criteria. All right, so on the end here, we'll look at Nvidia again. We'll look at the year column that I added, and then we'll make the criteria 2024. Okay, so you can see a difference there. We'll do the same here. So get in there and edit the formula, right? Add that second condition. All right, and then one more time. And then I didn't have to copy it down because this thing is a table, and so it automatically copied it down for me, so that's nice. And then, yeah, I probably will just convert this to a range. Okay, so that's what I want to show you here. And then, oh, how would I use this? Maybe this is not presentation quality. Maybe you want to make a dashboard. And then I'll probably put together another video so we can look at some dashboarding in Excel techniques. But for now, I hope this all helps.